Good morning students, I welcome you all for the online class of economics. Today we will be going to learn the topic law of diminishing marginal utility has already it started in the last class. Let us have the continuation of this chapter, law of diminishing marginal utility. As I already explained to you the meaning of the law of marginal utility, student, psychologically human nature is like that. Whenever we are not having something, we desire for that thing. That time the thing will be having much more importance, much more interest. But as we got the thing after its use one and two time or three times after, it's our satisfaction from that goods will go down, as it will we don't require the thing more now, so we require it but we don't desire it more and more. So that makes the sense law of diminishing marginal utility. It states that as the marginal utility tends to decline as consumption of commodity increases, this itself is known as law of diminishing marginal utility. As one unit if we will increase of the same type of commodity in our daily life, then its satisfactory level from the goods will decline. Let us have the continuation with the topic. Table 1 and figure 1 illustrate this law. The table and the figure show that mu tends to diminish as consumption increases, because mu is diminishing has from 100 to 80, 80 to 60 and so on. Tu increases only at a diminishing rate. It is increasing but at a diminishing rate. Diminishing means what you increasing but diminishing, it is a confusion. See here, it is increasing in which ratio? Backward ratio, 100, then 80, then 60, 40. It is going on increasing at this diminishing rate. That is known as increasing at a diminishing rate. This word you have to remember for the whole microeconomics book. So you can see here students, sorry for the disturbance, law of diminishing marginal utility is a fundamental law. Why it is a fundamental? It is universal law. Every human being, though they are living in any of the country, this is a human nature. When they start consumption of the goods regularly, it makes the person satisfied in the beginning, but a satisfaction level, instead of increasing after regular consumption, it will go down. Law of diminishing marginal utility states that as more and more units of a commodity are consumed, marginal utility derived from every additional unit or must decline. It happens in respect of all goods and services. It is therefore called fundamental law of satisfaction or fundamental psychological law. What it has been explained to us, student, that fundamental law states that law of diminishing marginal utility, like for example, if you like cakes, okay, first day one piece of pastry is given to you, second day you like the cake because of the two pieces of pastry has been given, next day 3 pieces, then on Thursday 4 pieces, then on Friday 5 pieces, and the Saturday 6 pieces of pastry is given, and likewise so on. Sunday 8, and then again Monday 9 pieces, then 10 pieces, likewise we are increasing the number of pastry you have to consume every day. What you will be finding, one day you will be getting dissatisfied from that consumption. You don't want any more the cakes now, because you got satisfied, your satisfaction level gets completed. Daily you are consuming the same as snacks. In the evening snack your mother feeds that only daily, and one unit also she is increasing every day. What you will be finding later on the 7th and 8th day only, your satisfaction from that will go down, and you will ask something else we want to have instead of this pastries every day. So that is a human nature. It is a fundamental law. So marginal utility, how it rise, as you are seeing, one unit daily it is increasing. So marginal utility, when it is increasing daily, it tends to be total utility to be declined one day. It happens in respect of all goods and services. Two basic assumptions when you are learning the law of diminishing marginal utility is that basic assumption of the law states that only standard units of the commodity are consumed, like a cup of tea, not a spoon of tea. Consumption of the commodities continuous nature must be there, not irregular. Irregular, what can happen? Like this Sunday you had, next Sunday you will have, you will your desire will not end from that particular cakes. But regularly, if you are in snacks time, evening meal time, if it is given, then definitely one day you will be totally dissatisfied with that particular snacks only, and you want something to be new. So that only learning, for that learning only, this law of diminishing marginal utility has been conducted. So okay, and for the standard unit only we will be taking, not the incomplete unit. Now comes concept of consumer equilibrium. Has already I taken in the yesterday's class. Consumer equilibrium, when we talk student, it is refers to a situation of maximum satisfaction while spending his given income across different goods. In other words, a consumer equilibrium, when he allocates his given income to the purchase of different goods a manner such that its total satisfaction is maximized, that is known as consumer equilibrium. Any change in this allocated income under the given circumstances will only lead to a falling total satisfaction of total utility. I think the meaning is clear. Consumer equilibrium, first of all, it makes that satisfaction level where the income of the person matches with the desired quantities MRP, desired goods MRP, that is known as consumer equilibrium. Like for example, 100 rupees a person is having and 100 rupees fruits he had completely purchased, then only he will get satisfied. Then it is known as consumer equilibrium. Desire must come to an end. In other words, a consumer equilibrium, when he allocates his given to the purchase of different goods, is known as consumer equilibrium, where he get maximum satisfaction, full satisfaction you can say. Okay, but if 100 rupees in 100 rupees 20-30 rupees left out, still his desire will not end. He or she will be finding something in the market which can come of 30 and 20 rupees while going to home. So that is the human nature, and that when he able to purchase the whole 100 rupees things from the market and went to home, his maximum satisfaction will come to an end. Consumer equilibrium, hence it says, it is an equilibrium when given his income and market price, he plans its expenditure on different goods and services in such a manner that he maximizes his total satisfaction. Now comes to the marginal utility analysis and consumer equilibrium. Yesterday we started this topic. Now we are addressing the basic question of this chapter: how much a commodity a consumer buys so that he maximizes his satisfaction and attract the point of equilibrium. Here the question is very very different type of thing. How could we guess how much the consumer will be purchasing? What is the income of the person when he will get satisfied? But this can be analyzed with the help of the following things. When only one commodity is, with this we will be going to learn with one commodity case and two or more commodity cases of a single consumer. Okay. So let us learn consumer equilibrium, one commodity case. And further, the basic factor which we will be going to learn is the price of the commodity. Definitely MRP plays a very vital role. It must come in our budget, then only we can afford for the goods. Second comes marginal and total utility of the commodity. How many units we will be purchasing by daily going to the market of the same goods. So that will help to know marginal utility definitely. And marginal utility of money, that is the worth of a rupee. For every person the worth of a rupee is different. Like for example, if for children, if we will give 300 rupees, definitely it is a worth for them. But daily, if some students who are getting 500 rupees as pocket money every month, for them 300 rupees is very less. So you can think, for a child who is not getting a pocket money, got 300 rupees this month for expenses, it is a worth for that child. But same money, to that child who is getting 500 rupees every month as a pocket money, for them it is not worthy, because already they are getting 500. Now it becomes less for them, 300 rupees this month. So this is the worth of a rupee, student, if you want to understand. Same is for the poor people. If you will take poor people, 100 rupees for them it is very important. But for us, 100 rupees it is just a plate of meal, snacks we can have from the market. So there are two different things. 100 rupees can fulfill the 2 meals for a particular poor family, and the same 100 rupees, if we go to the market, it's just a type of snacks we will purchase and come and 100 rupees will went off. So this makes a difference, worth of a rupee. What is marginal utility of money? Let us see. Marginal utility of money refers to worth of a rupee to a consumer. What is worth of a rupee? The consumer is expected to define it himself. It is assumed that he defines it in terms of utility that he derives from a standard basket of goods he can buy with a rupee. Example, if a rupee can buy 100 grams of sugar, If a rupee can buy 100 gram of sugar, 500 gram of rice and 500 gram of salt, which represent a standard basket of goods to the consumer. And if total utility from this good is say 4 utils, then 4 is to be taken as marginal utility of money. This becomes his standard reference whenever he is buying any commodity. Buying a unit of commodity X per rupee would mean the consumer expects 4 units of a utility from the consumption of commodity X. Okay. Thus, marginal utility M, marginal utility of money, becomes a measuring rod for a rupee worth of satisfaction. Important, it is assumed that a marginal utility of money is constant. Definitely it is constant, it is fixed. Simply because it is measuring rod for a rupee note of satisfaction. Let us have one example from the book point. Let marginal utility of money for the consumer equals to 4 utils, referring to the utility he expects to receive when he spends rupees 1. When he spends 1 rupee, he get how many utils of product X? That is 4 utils. Is the point clear to you people? Let X be the commodity he intends to buy. Commodity का नाम हो गया X. Apple, it can be oranges, it can be pen, it can be pencil. But for us, it is a product X. Let price of X, PX means price of X equals to rupees 4 per unit. मतलब एक प्रोडक्ट X कितने रुपए का है? 4 rupees का. Marginal utility schedule of X is taken as follows. Okay. For that person who is a consumer, 4 utils refers to the utility he expects to receive when he spend rupees 1. उसके लिए 1 रुपये में 4 सामान चाहिए, जबकि यहाँ पे 4 rupees का एक सामान मिल रहा है. So how he will be getting satisfied in the market? Let us see at which level he gets satisfaction. Marginal schedule, utility schedule of commodity X. Units of commodity X, marginal utility of X, utils. You can see there. When he go for the market with one commodity, okay, 1 unit of X, it comes of how many? 20. Marginal utility derived from X is 20 utils. Units of commodity, how many he gained? 1 unit. And then how many marginal utility derived from that? Definitely. For him, 1 rupee equals to 4 utils. समझ में आया? यहाँ पे उसने कितना लिया है? 4 per unit the cost of the product is there, and he purchased 1 unit, 4 rupees product. 1 rupee gives 4 utils. Then 4 rupees, how many utils will be giving to him? How many utils he will be giving to the person? 1 rupee equals to 4 utils. He went for the one commodity. One commodity purchases 4 rupees. 4 into 4, how many utils will be there? 60 utils. But here something has been given to us, that is of 20 utils. Okay, unit of commodity X, 20 utils. If he derived 2 units from the market, so how many marginal utility is there? Derived is 18 utils. You can see here 18 is there. Here you can see students, we will be taking this. Right, started.